Hello YouTubers, this is my second attempt at this. The first attempt, the phone went off at about the 20-minute mark, which, anyway, this is a review about, just quickly, about FIFA 15. Good game series, but it hasn't been good games since FIFA 12. It was probably my favourite one. 13 and 14 were downhill. Good things, it's next gen on PC now, so it's all the bells and whistles. Not too different on actual gameplay. You can see the signs revolving, you can see the crowd moving a little bit, but it still looks pretty much the same. Replays, however, you see the grass moving, you see dirt on the players building up, you see chunks being tore out of the pitch, and things like that. So aesthetically, it looks really, really good. Very smooth gameplay compared to FIFA 14 on the PlayStation 3. I'm sure compared to FIFA 15 on the PlayStation 3 as well. 60 frames a second. Moves perfect. No trouble there with anything. Still got some bad points, animations and stuff, although they're really brilliant on commentary. They're still going to get very repetitive. You still get sweaty games where no matter what you do, you can't win. You're destined to lose. I've even had a penalty given against me that was not only was it not a penalty, but because it was outside the box, but it wasn't even a free kick, and Benzema was offside when I was playing against Real Madrid, but it was still ended up being a penalty, and it was 1-1 between me and Real Madrid and Liverpool. Transfers and stuff remain the same. Big teams still buy small or big players. Even smaller teams will buy big players out of the blue, and then they tend not to play them. Like I've seen me selling a big team, big player to say Leicester City. I sold Lallana to Leicester City. At the end of the season, he'd only played like 5 games for him. He just wasn't playing for them, and you're like, why would they buy him and not play him? But it does not just people who buy players off me, it's around the league. Man City bought Oscar and they hardly ever played him. Diego Costa hardly ever played for Chelsea. I've played a full season, so I did put myself in the European competition because Liverpool are in the Champions Cup, so went well. But yeah, commentary is even more repetitive because you don't have the switching between Clive Tilsley, Ryan Townsend, Martin Tyler and Alan Smith anymore. That's gone, which is disappointing. That was an awesome touch, brilliant. Should have been definitely in there, but it's not. And so that was kind of brought in FIFA 12, and it was kept in FIFA 13, then phased out, I guess, in FIFA 14. You could use those two. Clive Tilsley and Annie Townsend, but they very, very rarely appeared in a random match through career mode, and now they're not even there, which is disappointing because commentary is going to be repetitive as crap. Scouting is still terrible. I hate having to scout a player, especially a player that's already played for Liverpool in the past, like John Joe Shelby, Andy Carroll. You don't know what their stats are, and you have to scout them, and you've already played for you. Very, very weird. It shouldn't be happening. You still get very, very silly, sweaty free kicks against you when the free kick should actually be yours. You know, like you'll be pushed and shoved, fall over. That other player who's pushed you over will trip over your feet while you're on the way to fall to the ground, and he'll get a free kick for it. And it's like, why? It's not understandable. Accessibility is crap. By that I mean I have a Geotech VX1, perfect joypad, works on all my other games, perfect, and I mean perfect, but it doesn't work on FIFA. And I have a special one. I'll unravel this one for you so you can get a good look at this. Just give me a sec here. This one is, ta-da, an official EA Sports control pad on the back. Official EA Sports control pad. Perfectly done. Works wonders with every single game. Doesn't work with a game made by EA Sports. The right stick and the trigger buttons don't work on FIFA. It doesn't work. It's an EA Sports control pad. Come on, EA. How can an EA Sports official control pad not work for an EA Sports game? That doesn't even make a blind bit of sense to me. It didn't make a blind bit of sense to the guy who I got phoned, who worked for EA Sports. EA are, no, it's no wonder they're being voted the worst game, the worst gamer company. Anyway, I went out and I bought that Xbox controller. Feels and plays well, and everything's set up and works magical for the game. It just means that you're going to have to fork out that money for a top-notch pad, otherwise you can't play the game. So anybody who's looking to buy this game, please, there's a big list. Go and check this out before you buy the game. I thought because that was an EA official EA gamepad, it's a PlayStation 3 gamepad. It's works fine with everything. I thought that was going to work with EA's FIFA 15 because it's an EA Sports game and an EA Sports pad. I was very much mistaken and it didn't work. So please, guys, do not fork out the money for this game for either PC, Xbox One, PlayStation 4, or PlayStation 3. Well, obviously, Xbox One and PlayStation 3, it's going to work, unless you're very unlucky. But the PC version, don't go out and spend the money on it. It may come like, oh yay, it's next generation, yay. Don't forget the money on it until you know for sure you've got a control pad that can play it. It's a very sensitive game, and probably about 85 to 90% of control pads on the market cannot play this game. You must go out and spend money on a top notch. So you could find yourself paying up to £60 to £70 to play this game, depending on what your tastes in control pads are. And it's extremely difficult to play it on the keypad and mouse, so I wouldn't recommend that to anybody. I tried, and I watched like 7 games in a row, $10. I'm still no. Aesthetically, it's very pleasing. Accessible, it's not. Online, I played a lot of online. Well, I'll say a lot, about 10 games. The abuse I got was phenomenal for scoring a couple of sweaty goals here and there. You know, I went into the box and got a penalty. Honestly, I don't think that it was a penalty. The fella I was playing against sounded no older than about 14 or 15. He started squealing at me, effing and blind, and calling me a diver. And I was like, how can I be a diver? Because you can't dive in the game. There's no button to press in this game to dive. But he still felt the need to squeal and moan at me, even though I was 2-0 up from 2 phenomenal goals and won the game 3-0 anyway after I scored the penalty. He just yacked and moaned at me. Then I had another young fella who sounded even younger, and he just rage quitted when I was winning by 2-1, and he scored a cracker goal but still couldn't score an equaliser and ended up rage quitting 5 minutes before the end of the match. And so for that reason, I'm not going to play FIFA Ultimate Team. I never played it on the PlayStation 3 anyway, or the Xbox 360 when I owned one of them. There's no point. The audience, the online, is too young. I don't like playing against younger ones. They don't understand what it's like to win or lose. Even when they do win, they tend to go, haha, you're shit, or that's like, what? There's no maturity there. You know, if I get beat by somebody, I'll say, wow, that's a good game, that was brilliant, you deserve to win that. And they'll go, you bloody well did well, you could have easily won. That's the way it should have handled. But it doesn't get handled. More often than not, they will start screaming at you down. If you beat them, they will get frustrated, angry, effing blind, curse you down, call you all the bad names. And if they win, they will call you all the bad names and try and slag you off because they say you're crap and you're rubbish, even though it ended up 1-0 and they scored the flukiest goal in the world or something. to win, and I don't want that. I want a mature audience. I'll stick to my RPG online games to play. This is strictly going to be offline career mode only for me, which is pretty much the same as FIFA 14. Everything will get repetitive after a while, which is a football game. Football's repetitive. You go out there and play football, but you'll find yourself only scoring certain goals from certain angles, and coming from certain spots of the pitch, which makes it even more repetitive, because the chances of you scoring really good goals are very slim from outside the box and trying to slot it past the keeper and stuff. You'll find yourself coming diagonally in from the corner of the boxes, different things like that, because they're slightly easier to finesse it and curl it around the goalkeeper and things like that. Although finesse shot's been nerfed, it's not as easy to score. But it's disappointing from standard, the fact that it'll get a 6 out of 10 instead of 4 out of 10 like FIFA 14 got, because a lot of the bugs and crashes that I got on the PlayStation 3 version of FIFA 14 I'm not getting on the PC version of FIFA 15. Be a Pro mode I haven't tried yet, and I'm put off by it because there's no game face, which is disappointing. I wanted to put my face in the game with my glasses on like I did last time to have a giggle. It is really fun watching your player running around the pitch with glasses on. It just looks crazy and fun. I've done it with sunglasses, I've done it with these glasses. I've even did it one time with my glasses turned upside down like this, and my player looked absolutely ridiculous. And I mean, he absolutely looked ridiculous, but it was hilarious funny to be able to do that and put these pictures in the game and then play with this game face. It was so much fun. It just adds a ridiculous notion to the game, but you cannot do that anymore because I can't find game face. With the secondary commentary team of Clive Tilsley and Annie Townsend gone, it is ridiculously repetitive. You still find Alan Smith going on for like the 5th season in a row of FIFA games about his being bought by Arsenal off Leicester, then loaned back to Leicester, and Leicester being thrashed 3-0 by Arsenal. The little extra touches like the crossbar wiggle on replays if it gets vaulted by the ball, the crowd move, at the end of a match against Monaco, I scored in the last 15 minutes. I was winning 1-0, and suddenly the cop started screaming, "You'll never walk alone," because we were winning 1-0 with like 3 minutes to go, and it really makes you feel amazing that way, but it doesn't help the gameplay any. There's still a lot of sweaty things. You still get the games where you feel you cannot win no matter what you do. You still get very sweaty tackles against you. You still get lots of things that go very silly in the game that should not be there. Overall, in general, it's not a bad game. It's what you expect from a FIFA game. It looks very, very good this time around on Next Generation. It looks really, really good. There's so much more they could have done with it. They should have left that extra commentary team in there. I don't like the fact that when you become an international manager, you still have to manage your club team as well. That very, very, very rarely happens in real life. The whole thing of ban and sell. I mean, people put in horrific. I had a transfer bid for Daniel Sturridge, and it was 39 million, and it came from Swansea City. Just about 3 weeks before the transfer window started, I had a chance to get a job at Swansea City, and they only had like £5 million to spend. It never came up that anybody bought them over. On the news, it would usually come up saying huge company buyout Swansea City or whatever. That never happened, and they were still willing to offer me 39 million for Daniel Sturridge, and they didn't even have 39 million to use. So I don't know. Little silly things like that. I hate it when you get yelled at by players for not playing them. But then it's very, very hard when you've got a back line of 81, 81, 82, and you buy somebody who's a 76, you're not buying that player to play him on a regular basis. You're buying that player as a backup, and you tell him he's going to be used as a future first team player, and then he gurns because he's only got a few games when you've pretty much already told him he's not going to be used the first few seasons. And you can't reply. If somebody gives you a Balogun, players come in and tells you off, you can't reply to that. There should be at least 3 or 4 lines of text where you can click on them to reply back to the player, to give them a Balogun back, or agree with them, or just lightly disagree with them, or politely say piss off, or just be complete and utter mean to him. But that is not there. You cannot reply to the players. All in all, in general, it's not a bad, horrible game. It's just what you'd expect from a football game, I suppose, made by EA. A football game that doesn't really have superstar quality about it. It looks amazing, and by virtually all the licenses, all the licensed stadiums, it's got virtually all the licenses except for the Champions League and the Europa League, which are actually owned, I believe, by PES, but it doesn't take away from the game that much, not having those 2 licenses, but it's all about looks, really. The gameplay is virtually exactly the same, tons more animations, but still the same things happen, if you know what I mean. They don't happen the same way. You'll see tons of new animations, but in general, similar things will happen. You'll see players going flying from tackles, like instead of just falling over. Keepers still dramatically manage to stand upright. You know, they'll do a dive and save, and then instead of getting up and you doing a tap in, they manage to go like this, like from feet to head, right? They manage to do like a windscreen wiper, and they'll save a shot this way, it'll bounce out and you'll hit a shot to the far side, and the keeper will just almost dive across and miraculously within a second be standing and back down to save the second attempt, which can be a bit annoying. Sometimes keepers don't even move. I scored a free kick with Balotelli, and Joe Hart just stood there, and it was about 35 yards out. It was the first free kick I ever scored in FIFA. I didn't score in 14. I did score in 15 now, and Joe Hart just stood there watching it. In fact, virtually the wall jumped, and that was the only players that moved, was the fact that the wall jumped. Other little touches is, yes, I tried to sneak the wall forward a little bit. I was about a couple of steps, and the referee came over and I think it was actually Mario Balotelli actually got the yellow card for doing that, which I thought was a wonderful touch. But some of them, there's some referees who barely give out a card, and other referees who will give out a card if you fart. You know, literally, if you give a shoulder shrug to a player and he falls over, and you'll get a red card for it, and you'll wonder what the heck's going on. And other referees, you could boot someone in the head and they'll give a free kick and you won't even get told off for it. Which I suppose again is semi-realistic, but it's not a great football game. It's aesthetically it looks beautiful. It plays very, very smooth, but the gameplay, it's very, very easy to give a free kick away. Not very easy to get one. It's very, very hard to get one, especially on the higher difficulty levels. They tackle with so much precision that you have to be super quick, and there's just no way you can be. There is still a few milliseconds delay between the control pad and the PC, and same with the consoles. And that in this game is crucial, and it's like an age, because that is the difference between getting the ball and getting the player and getting a red card. but it's alright. It's a very playable game. I haven't come up across any of the bugs that people are complaining about, like all the players going into the middle and stuff at the start of games. Knock on wood. But it can be a bit frustrating sometimes, as football can be in real life. In general, it's not a terrible game. It's slight improvement on FIFA 13 and FIFA 14, but it's not an improvement on FIFA 12 as when it comes to gameplay and things like that. Because of the other commentary team, you had one set of commentators doing the league, one set of commentators doing the cups, so it was a nice breakup. You'd have 2 or 3 matches by one commentary team, then you'd have another commentary team, then back to the other commentary team, then a League Cup match back to the other commentary team. So you'd have a nice mixture of different commentaries coming. But this one seems to only have the 2 commentators, which is poor. I was actually hoping for a third commentary team, perhaps for internationals to be added, but they weren't. It's a second EA title I bought in 2014, and the second EA title I bought in 2014 that has lived nowhere near the expectations. The Sims 4 was a woeful game. It's sitting down there and has barely been played. I played it solid for about 4 or 5 days, and then did a review on it. I have barely played it since that because it is a woeful game, and until the open world gets brought back, that's a no play again. FIFA 15 is a terrible game compared to FIFA 12. It's slightly better than 13 and slightly better than FIFA 14. But I don't play games for looks. I don't play games for graphics. I play games for the gameplay and for the fun of it. And this game is fun at the start, and then it gets way too repetitive because of the commentary. And like I said before, you'll find yourself only coming in from this side with Balotelli, or only coming in from this side with Sturridge, or and once you learn the best possible angle to come in with different players, you'll find yourself only doing those things. So you'll find yourself doing the same thing over and over and over and over and over again. And towards the end of the season, I was winning 4 and 5 and 6-0 on world class, so it's time to step up to legendary. And I'm sure I'll start off next season not great, but I'll probably get back to playing very well, and I'll probably end up winning the league again. It's a step up from FIFA 14, but not enough of a step up in my mind. It's smoother, doesn't have as many bugs, but the gameplay is pretty much the same. The only difference is added animation, and that's for me is more aesthetics than anything else. Gameplay wise, like I said, you'll still get games where the computer takes over. It still feels like, and I play everything on manual crossing, manual passing, manual shooting, and you'll get games where it feels like it's unassisted even though everything's manual. You'll pass and it'll go to the completely wrong player you're aiming to. When you push the bumper button to change players, it'll change to completely the wrong person who's nowhere near the ball, and things like that, to where the computer and you'll hit a shot and it feels like it's just going down the throat of the goalkeeper all the time, and you're not getting the curl like you were in the match before, and things are not happening like they would do in other matches, because they're just sweaty games where the computer has taken over and you can't win. It doesn't happen as much as it does in previous FIFA games, but it happens the odd time. And I have gotten several times where they had that one penalty against me that was not a penalty. It was outside the box. I didn't touch Ronaldo, and Benzema was offside when he passed the ball anyway. Man, it went down, and it was about 3 yards outside the box, but it was still a penalty. He scored it with 1 each. But yeah, and the online is terrible. It just plays the same way, but you get abuse when you win. When you get a free kick or a penalty, you get abuse for being divers and called divers and stuff. I think I played about 10 games, and I think 2 people out of those 10 games were nice guys who took a beating. One took the beating on the chin, and I took a beating on the chin, and the guy said, "What a good game," and it could have went either way. The other 8 were very abusive. Whether they won or lost, they were very abusive. Very young as well. It's too young of an audience for me to play with. I don't like that. I want them to be around about at least 25 plus, 25 to 35 maybe, closer to my own age. But the majority of the people who play this online are young to mid teenagers, so there's too much of the nader going on, and so I don't like the online stuff. Generally it's a good game, as I've already said, but it'll get repetitive. Probably play it for a while till I get 2 or 3 seasons done. If I can get a card, a capture card, still need somebody to reply to anything, to let me know what they think the best card is. I want to get one that I actually plug into the computer, a physical card, not just software, but a hardware. And I'm not sure which the best ones are to get, or where to get them, or how much they are. But that's the only thing right now that's going to rescue me and make me play FIFA a lot more, would be doing a Let's Play on it or something, or a Let's Play on The Sims. I've also got other games I like to do Let's Plays on, both my Fallout games, my Euro Truck Simulator, and my Tomb Raider games, Silent Hill, my Resident Evil. I do walk through games of these and do videos of them, big videos of my Guild Wars and stuff as well. But I need a card, so if anybody has got a good recommendation for a decent card, please let me know. 6 out of 10 for this game. We'll see how it goes. That's pretty much what I expected from this game. Looks great, plays pretty much the same as FIFA 14, but smoother and not as many bugs. But still the repetitiveness, and no game phase for being pro, which is a huge loss, and no secondary commentary team for the cups, which is a huge loss. So 6 out of 10, can't give it any better. Anyway, I'm going to jump off here. It's nearly half an hour, so I will see everybody later. I hope you enjoy playing your FIFA or your other games that you play. Anybody who wants to like or comment or subscribe, go ahead. Thanks very much for the people who watch or got this far through. Bye.